Hello, gorgeous souls. I thought I'd pop in and do a quick live about the weekly astrology. I don't know why this camera is so close. What is that about, YouTube? Hold on a minute. Yeah, so this week we have a new moon in Virgo, which is very, very intense. Now, as I've said on my earlier video, I think it's great that we're in Virgo season and we've got Mars in Gemini. So even technically, that's a square and it brings about tension. I think if we use the energy correctly, we can absolutely bring our energies into alignment and head towards where we want to head towards. But let's just start off with the facts of this new moon. Okay, so this new moon is square Mars. Yikes. It also has, not to do with the new moon, but around the same time, we have Venus square Saturn. We also have Venus square Uranus. We also have Saturn square Uranus. So there is a little bit of tension going on. There's this sort of sense of, we're all being pulled in millions of directions. And that doesn't surprise me because we're going through an evolutionary shift, a big transformation of our very soul. And that Uranus is deeply involved in that because that's all to do with the North Node in Taurus. So this big news that we've just gone through is about change, is about shifting. And as we know, us human beings find it very difficult to change sometimes. We find it really hard to do what we need to do to make the transformations we need to make. So we're being really, well, we might feel a little bit shoved towards that change. We might feel as if we're being pushed towards making a change and maybe we might not feel ready. And that's what Uranus is all about. Uranus goes, I don't care if you're ready, change is coming. And so it's really in our best interest to facilitate change before some massive surprise comes about. And this is our week to do it, 100%. We're heading towards Mercury retrograde. All the outer planets are retrograde. It's about going back to the past, but in a way, looking at the past to transform our future. And the way we can do that, the miracle of how we can do that is that in Virgo season, and with this new moon in Virgo, we can commit to looking at the tiny details of our life and really plotting and planning that change. Okay. Uranus might be making this difficult. Also, Mars in Gemini for 7 months is also creating this desire for change, for change's sake. We might even wake up one morning and our whole idea of what we feel passionate about, what we feel drawn to, goes in a completely kind of different direction. We're like, what's happened to me? But if we are clever and we don't just come up against that square, we're able to go, I'm going to just take a little bit of time out. I'm going to do some journaling. I'm really going to break down the shifts I want to make because we do not want to be dragged kicking and screaming through this transit, and it's a possibility. So focus on self-care, health and well-being, and really thinking deeply about the powerful patterns that you want to change to transform your reality. It's super important. We might feel a little bit isolated with that Saturn square Uranus, Venus square Uranus, Venus, particularly Venus opposing Saturn. That is quite challenging when Venus opposes Saturn. It kind of draws us into ourselves. And, you know, Venus isn't about restrictions. Venus is about love and abundance and openness, right? And Saturn is, it's almost like that kind of feeling that you're being pushed into something or away from something. So, again, rather than being dragged kicking and screaming this week towards that sort of Virgo energy, which can be quite hermity, towards that Venus and Saturn energy, let's take the power. Let's take the power back and think, okay, change is coming. I'm going to embrace change, but I'm also going to be sensible. I'm going to use that Saturn energy to go forward and make the right decision through self-love, through commitment to myself, making a commitment to my life. All right. Uranus might go, you know, I'm just exploding everything and you've got to find your way. But if we're taking care of ourselves, we can be ready for that. On a much deeper level, all of us are going through an evolutionary leap. And it's about our ultimate security with that North Node in Taurus. But, you know, Uranus is not going to let us resist that. Sometimes, even when we know, in fact, sometimes especially when we know that we've got to make changes, we find it difficult. We're like, no, I'm not doing it. We kind of bury our head and refuse to make those changes that we need to make. So take some reflection before that new moon and go, okay, what is likely to change? What do I need to change in my life? And how can I do a bit of self-care and take responsibility? Don't forget, Saturn's all about responsibility. Love yourself enough to, even though you know it might be difficult to make the changes, to get on your path to make the changes that you need to make. Anyway, that's let me say hello to a few people as we are here. Hello, Mum11. You've retracted your message, so I don't know what it said. Anybody else want a quick hello? Any questions about what's going on? How are we feeling about the fact that we're going through this retrograde motion? We're going back to dig up the treasure from the past to move forward. Jackie, hello. MD, hello. Jacqueline Starr, sending you hugs as well. You know, a lot of people are going through some surprising things. Has anybody had any surprises in the past few weeks where things have just completely changed direction? That is very typical of the energy we've got now. That's why it's so important that we try and not just take all these squares and all these challenging aspects and going, oh my God, I can't cope. We go, you know what? I'm going to take the best out of all of these cosmic energies and I'm going to blend them together. I'm going to stir them in my cauldron and I'm going to use that energy for my advantage. So, you know, this new moon is all about letting go of patterns that aren't healthy for us, letting go of patterns that no longer serve us. And we are all being prepared for a new life, a surprising revelation about where our future lies and what our true security is. In fact, anything in our lives that we think are secure or we're using as a security blanket may be stripped away right now. And as shocking or surprising as that seems, ultimately, I believe in the long run, it's for the evolution of our spirit and our soul. And again, if we look after ourselves, yeah, baby, that's when we can take advantage of it. But you know, we're all on a journey together. The world is being shaken up because it needs to be, because at the moment, every time we think it can't go any lower, there can't be any more corruption, there can't be any more terrible things and people in positions of power that are so corrupted, the next thing comes along, the next drama. So everything we're going through now is hopefully about an evolution to come through this. Surely we are at the end of this. Surely we are moving through where we're all taking more responsibility for ourselves and our life. And Uranus will bring about these changes. And yes, there may be a few shocks and twists and turns along the way. Self-care. And also being open to change. In fact, I would say that's the fundamental message of this new moon. Even though it's in Virgo and it's saying take care of the details, everything that's going on around it is about change and transformation. The fact that Mars is in Gemini for 7 months, that is big news. It's never there for 7 months, maybe 6 weeks, 7 weeks, but not 7 months. So that is, you know, thank you so much, Ali. That's very, very kind of you. I send you all good things back. So, you know, we are all being made to understand the power of Mars, our vital life force, our passion and our energy, and the fact that it's going in 2 different directions, that our mind might be changing, that we might be intellectually battling with other people or ourselves, but ultimately we're changing direction. Even if we think we're in the best direction known to all humanity, the evolution of our spirit is about to do new things. I don't know if you saw my other video. We are programmed through our neural pathways and our thoughts to keep repeating the same patterns. And the energy in the cosmos now is about us breaking those patterns. In terms, yes, people suddenly may come back from the past, but we're a different person. When we wish people to come back from the past, or we go into the past and we're repeating a pattern, we are not that same person. We're changing in every moment. So our view and our perception of people from the past is always flawed because they have also changed and transformed. We are never the same people as with ex-lovers or people from the past. That is an illusion. And once we know that and we come into our power in the moment, then we create positive energy breaks and transformations and healings. I do not know why every time I do a live, my glasses steam up. It doesn't happen in the real world. So apologies for that. So what else is going on this week? Today, Mercury is trine Pluto. Again, today is the perfect day if you're watching this today on the 22nd. The 22nd of the 22nd. Yeah, baby. Some powerful numerology going on there. Today is a day where we can really commit to something ending or changing. You might even find it falling out of your mouth, actually. If you've got an opinion or you've got something to say to someone, today is the day to do it. Before Mercury goes fully retrograde, spit it out and get rid. We also have this week, of course, tomorrow, we go into Virgo season. I almost feel like it started, I don't know about you. Funnily enough, today I woke up with a massive panic attack, which I haven't had for a long time. And I was like all sort of worried about things to do with my health and this, that and the other. And I really think that was, as far as I know, there's nothing going on with me in that area, but I think in a way it's like we're getting that kick up the arse from Virgo already. Are you taking care of yourself? Are your routines benefiting your health and well-being? Are you dealing with the details in your life? You know, and trust me, if there's any sort of forms you've been putting off or any of those kind of practical details, guess what's going to happen? You'll be like, rah! But also empowered to do it. So don't leave anything hanging about. Get it done now. What else is going on? Oh yeah, of course, Uranus is going retrograde, going backwards. So in a way, that shift of energy might not feel so obviously chaotic, but it may bring some chaos back from the past. And especially back from the past because it's in Taurus. And Taurus is all about the past and loving to hang on to the past. And, you know, like when a Taurus loves, even if they, 20 years down the line, if they appear to dislike you, they always still have that love in their heart for you. So Taurus don't let go. So could even be that someone from the past pops up, but as I say, we are different people now, so it's not the same dynamic. Always remember that, so easy for us to give our power away. When I was younger, I used to give my power away left, right and centre. I look back to people 20, 30 years ago and I look at how they evolved and who they are now, and I can't actually believe I gave, non-judgment, power of the word, but I can't even believe that I gave my power away like that, In the moment, we can sort of put people on pedestals or see them as really powerful or see them as the only one. Trust me, from a wise old bird, no, this is not the case. The cosmos shows us that because everything is a cycle. Nothing stays the same. And, Uranus is going to teach us all about that. Now, another great day for healing this week is when we have Venus trine Chiron on the 25th. And I hope we take advantage of that. Chiron is the wounded healer, the wounds that we can't really heal, but that can become fertilizer for us healing other people and benefiting in other ways in our life. But they're the wounds, the wounds. So the wounds that are likely to come up are to do with our identity and our independence when it comes to our relationships. So how independent are you in your love relationships? Or in the past, how have relationships affected your way of being? Have they bolstered you? Have they improved your independence? Or have they not? Someone here is saying, oh my God, my ex of 30 years ago contacted me through Facebook. Boom, there it is. It's already happening. Anyway, so, really it's a time to reflect on how we are how our identity is when we merge with another, when we love another, and that can go for friends as well as lovers. But it's really important to always keep our independence and our individuality and be free spirits in love. And you can do that and really be committed. I'm in a relationship with a Gemini. I'm married. We've been together nearly 9 years, which for me is very unusual, let me say. And we have, she gives me complete freedom. I give her complete freedom. And it is the most beautiful thing because it's, there's nothing, to grow in a relationship, to have a long-term relationship, you have to be able to express who you are. And who we are, again, changes and it evolves. And hopefully, you fall in love with the different growth and the different facets of that person. Someone else has just sent a message saying, an ex of 40-year-old has been in touch. I think this is going to be a theme of this month. Exes from, funnily enough, one of my exes was in touch, and now you mention it, from 20 years ago. So yes, I think it is the month of the exes returning and you examining your relationship and how you've grown and how different you are now and how able you are to be in your power now, etc. Where are the dogs? Kiki. Let's see if they'll come. I think Bear might be with Kathy. Oh, come on in. Come on. Who's that? There's Kiki. Oh, look at the babies. There's Bear and Kiki. The astrology dog from time ago. Yes, so there they are coming to say hello to you. Whew. Okay, I might have to open a window or get a glass of water. So Mercury is going into Libra, which is, I think, great. It helps us, well, it can be a bit indecisive, but it helps us to try and find balance in our life. It helps us, you know, express ourselves. Okay, Mercury loved being in Virgo, obviously, because it's its place, but I don't mind a little trip into Libra. I mean, Mercury and Virgo can have us being a bit self-critical or critical of other people, but also very analytical. So, you know, but I'm not objecting to that at all. Then, of course, we have the new moon in Virgo with Venus square Uranus, the Sun square Mars. A lot going on with that new moon. So the best advice is, you know, look at any conflict. Don't ignore any conflict that's brought up, but also don't get caught up in the maelstrom, is that how you pronounce it, of the dynamic. Keep your center, you know, because that's what it's all about. Hey, Keeks. Keep your center during it all, and all should be well. Uranus might throw a few curveballs, but there we go. And also we might have odd feelings. Our feelings for things might change. We've got that for 7 months actually with the Mars in Gemini. And Virgo and Gemini, you know, there is that little clash of personalities going on there. So how are you feeling about your personal relationships at the moment? Because it's definitely a topic that's going to come up. And most importantly, how are you with your relationship with yourself? The good news is we are able to change our viewpoint. We are able to, in a way, like Mars in Aries is like, rah, I am the warrior. I will burn you with fire. I will express everything I'm feeling. Whereas Mars and Gemini, it may be a little bit too changeable, but we're able to be objective about some of the things that stir our soul. But fundamentally, as usual, we've got to look at the bigger picture. Where are we going? Where are we now? And where are we stuck, right? Better take time to think about it now before Uranus kind of brings it in a way that we're like, you know, I can't be dealing with that. So any questions so far about that? I'm not seeing any questions. Surely there must be some questions. Have I scared you off with all the talk of changeability? I don't know. Okay, hold on 1 second. It doesn't suck, it's exciting. You know, I learned a long time ago that, you know, certain things you can't fight. So you've got to just, you know, surf the cosmic waves and be prepared to take responsibility for your thoughts and how you can manage that. Although, you know, it is tricky. Joe, if you're stuck, will it change? Yes, it will, because I'm telling you, everything's changing. Yeah, weird dreams are definitely a thing. Yes, health is a subject related to Virgo. We've got to pay particular attention to our health and well-being. I would say if you are a Virgo, this is the week to cast out your desires to the universe, send out your dreams and start planting your seeds. Joe, if you're feeling trapped, you've got to find a way out of that. And actually the new moon might help you by suddenly, that's what Uranus is good at, suddenly giving you an idea on how to transform things. But yeah, it's an exciting time. MJ, there's no such thing as a cusp. There really isn't. So you have to look in your chart. No doubt, you know, we've all got some close planets to the planets next to us. So you may be a bit of both in another way, but your sun will only be in one sign. I do need a fan on. I don't think it is that. I don't know what it is. It's definitely specific to when I do lives. Yes, fear of change. Fear of change can rob us of months, weeks, years, decades of our life. And I would advise maybe doing, for me, I always think about the Fool in the Tarot. I trust the cosmos now that when you take a leap of faith, that it will be all right. Doesn't mean I don't panic before I take that leap of faith. But it is so fundamentally important to make changes. I cannot tell you. Fred Luskin did research, he's from Stanford University, about how 90% of our thoughts are the same. We only have 10% original thoughts. If you know anything about neural pathways, the more we repeat something, the more we get stuck in that groove. So we end up living our lives literally in automatic pilot. And when we live our lives in automatic pilot, there is no room for the magic to come in. And unfortunately, we have to work really hard to change our thought patterns because they are so ingrained, because our brain is wired in that way to make life easier, because there's so much information to take in. The information that is repeated, it just goes on its own little, motor, and it just does its thing. We don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, we'd be overwhelmed. So it's useful on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's a bloody pain in the arse because it makes us, any habits are very difficult to change. So we've got to make the effort, and this is the month to make that effort. This is the time, this is the moment, this is the minute to make those changes. And I'm going to listen to myself and my own advice. I mean, it's all very well me sitting here. I'm going to come back to you in a month and tell you what I've changed. You can come back to me in a month and tell me what you've changed. In a month's time, come back to these comments and let me know what's changed and what you managed to manifest and transform using this magical energy. Anyway, I think I better go because I am very hot, darling. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I'll do some more lives. I've been vaguely thinking about doing a membership. Would you be interested in a membership where I come and do a talk once a week, etc., and do tarot and on and on. I might come back and do a live and do a tarot for the month actually as well. Would you like that? Please like if you like, because it helps to share things. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm sending you so much love. This is a week of transformation. May you be blessed. May all sorts of wonder, magic and miracles come to you. Know you are the beloved and you are loved, okay? Anyway, you take care, gorgeous, and I'll speak to you soon.